It's early May and you're on a business trip in New York City. Your phone rings. On the other end is a guy you had met at a crypto conference earlier in the year. He invites you over to lunch. He and his team have rented a luxury townhome in Soho, so he proposes that you meet him there, and then you and he can go out and grab lunch at one of his favorite nearby spots. So you go. When you arrive, you are greeted warmly, and then you step inside. He invites you in for a drink, so you begin to follow him in through the entryway, and that's when you hear it. Behind you, the secure thud of the bolt on the door as it slams into place. You turn around. There are more people here than just the two of you. And suddenly you realize that this isn't a lunch, this is an abduction. What would you do? Well, this is exactly what happened to Michelle Corcoran, an Italian investor kidnapped in New York City by a man dubbed the Crypto King. My name is Spencer Coursen. I am a threat management expert, founder of Coursen Security Group, and author of the best-selling book, The Safety Trap. And this is The Threat Perspective. Today's topic, cryptocurrency, the risks, the realities, the safety traps, and the takeaways. And as always, if you stick around until the end, you'll get my best protective strategies that you can employ today. In May 2025, Michelle Valentino Teofaso Corcoran, a 28-year-old Bitcoin investor from Turin, Italy, was lured into a luxury townhouse in Soho, Manhattan, which was rented by 37-year-old Kentucky-based crypto magnate John the Crypto King Waltz. Upon his arrival, Corcoran was held captive for approximately 3 weeks, during which time he was forced to endure physical and psychological abuse, which, as listed by the indictments, included things like electric shock, pistol whipping, threats with a chainsaw, even being dangled over a staircase, all aimed at convincing Corcoran to reveal his Bitcoin wallet credentials. The value of that precious information? $30 million. Which is apparently not just enough money to serve as motivation for this crime, but was also just enough motivation for Corcoran to stand his ground. Because on May 23, 2025, after enduring weeks of torture and abuse, Corcoran eventually escaped, went to the authorities, and was subsequently taken to Bellevue Hospital to treat his many injuries. As for his abductors, John the Crypto King Waltz has been arrested and charged with multiple offenses, including kidnapping, assault, unlawful imprisonment, and weapons possession. Due to the severity of the charges and his substantial financial resources, of course, which makes him a flight risk, he is being held without bail. As for his accomplices, Beatrice Fulci, a 24-year-old assistant to Waltz, was also arrested at the scene, charged with first-degree kidnapping and unlawful imprisonment. And authorities are also actively searching for an as-yet unnamed third suspect, a Swiss crypto trader who has indicated his intentions to surrender. So now you may be thinking, well, what does some rich guy in New York getting kidnapped have to do with me? Kidnappings, after all, are a very rare concern in the United States, and while abductions and kidnappings are sometimes reported, they are most often the result of a child custody dispute rather than that of a kidnap for ransom exploit. Well, I'll be honest, if you don't know the difference between a Bitcoin and Ethereum, I invite you to just come for the story and stay for the lesson. But if you do know the difference between the two, this means everything. Since its emergence, crypto theft has taken many forms, and some of these real-life cases are as cinematic as they are cautionary. In 2018, Michael Turpin lost $24 million in crypto on what's known as a SIM swap. In this case, criminals either tricked or bribed Turpin's cell phone carrier into transferring his phone number to a new SIM device, which then allowed the bad guys to bypass the two-factor authentication and access his exchange accounts. Bad luck for AT&T on that one because Turpin wound up suing them for negligent security. In 2020, hackers exploited a security flaw in some back-end code and were able to access user data on the popular notes app Evernote. What made that exploit so specific is that the hackers knew exactly what they were looking for. They had written a code that crawled through and searched specifically for keywords in folders and files labeled passwords, crypto, Coinbase, or wallet. By the time they were done, they were able to drain more than $300,000 from users' Coinbase accounts. All of that money gone for good. Just last week, I got a call from a high net worth individual who was robbed of several $100,000 in crypto because of a compromised device. He had unintentionally clicked on a malicious link that embedded a keylogger spyware program on his phone, which allowed the bad guys to extract his wallet credentials. Once they had access, they just waited until he was sound asleep, and then at 3 a.m., transferred his entire crypto portfolio from him to them. And like Kaiser Soze, they were gone. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not anti-crypto. In fact, I'm a big fan of crypto. Hell, I even own some crypto. But one of the biggest safety traps I see, at least when it comes to digital currency, is that the perceived safety of crypto often tricks people into letting down their guard or misplacing their trust. So I want to take a minute to discuss some of the more common safety traps that people fall into when comparing their crypto wallets to their bank accounts. So here are my top digital currency safety traps. Safety trap number 1. It's safer than a bank because it can't be frozen. The trap is mistaking irreversibility for invincibility. The reality is that yes, governments can't freeze your wallet, but they also can't reverse a theft either, which means if you fall victim to a scam, no one is coming to save you. Your protective takeaway? Immunity from hacks means exposure to bandits. Safety trap number 2. I'm my own bank. That means I'm safe. The trap? Mistaking control for protection. The reality is that banks have a 24/7 fraud detection, FDIC insurance, and human support. Your cold storage crypto wallet is just that, cold. Your protective takeaway? Being your own bank is empowering, but it also means you assume a lot of risk because now you're also your own security team, tech support, and recovery department. Safety trap number 3. Believing that just because it's offline means it can't be stolen. The trap? Blind trust in cold storage. The reality is, if someone gets access to your seed phrase, even once, it's game over. Your protective takeaway is that cold wallets protect you from hackers, but not from house fires, human error, abduction, or extortion. And here's one more safety trap for free. A belief that since it's on the blockchain, that automatically means it's secure. The safety trap, confusing blockchain integrity with personal security. The reality is that yes, the blockchain itself is secure, but your access to it is fragile. One wrong move and it's gone forever. Your protective takeaway? The blockchain is bulletproof. You? Not so much.